The Honourable Dr. Peter Sharples.
Tēnā koe, Mr. Speaker. I rise on behalf of the Māori Party to mark the passing of the Corrections Officer Jason Palmer, who was tragically killed this weekend while on duty at Spring Hill Prison. And as I do so, my thoughts are also with the students from King's College, who are today dealing with the death of a third student since February. We think of those young students reeling from the shock of losing a friend well before their time. I sort of acknowledge also the Te Ururoa Flavels family who've lost a niece, and my own family who have a mate at home. I want firstly to acknowledge Jason's work colleagues who are still required to go about their duties. Prisons never stop, despite having to come to terms with what has happened and to deal with the great loss that they must feel. The importance of their role in helping to keep our communities safe is often overlooked until something like this, some tragedy happens. We pause for a moment to reflect on the appreciation that we owe to all those who choose to work on behalf of the government, sometimes placing themselves in sites of danger. This House has paid our respects on many occasions to those in the armed forces, those in the police force, and today, sadly, the Department of Corrections joins that tragic roll of honour. Jason had his life ahead of him. By all accounts, he could have gone far in corrections. He was known as an officer who was keen to learn. He was a professional and carried himself as such. Jason was held in high regard by his fellow officers for his personal integrity. He wanted to be the best that he could be. Sadly, this attack put paid to Jason's ambitions and robbed corrections of a valued corrections officer. This is a tragic waste of life. There are some real issues that emerge out of this tragic incident, issues related to the protection of corrections staff and to the concerns that always appear at a time like this around the appropriate location and supervision of inmates. I'm sure that those issues will be addressed for the protection of all those who inhabit our prisons, and also, importantly, for Jason's family, who today grieve for the loss of a cherished son, brother, father, and husband. But today is not the time to debate the whys and what fors. It is a time for tears, for regret, and for tributes to be heard. Anyone who listened to the national radio this morning would have heard the aching despair of a mother mourning her son. In an interview, Ada Palmer referred to her daughter-in-law as a princess, representing the courage and generosity of the New Zealand spirit in allowing this son of American soil to be returned home. Our thoughts are these two women bound inextricably in grief, their children, and to all families today who are suffering the loss of dearly loved sons. We extend our love and our sincere sympathy at such a difficult time. Nā reira koutou ngā mate haere. Haere ki te oki, roti te kaihanga, hei aha, hei whāriki mā mātou. Nā reira koutou ki a koutou, haere, haere, haere. Kia ora.
Mr. Speaker.